Chilly night in the Twin Cities. We are ready for interleague play. It's the final game, this three-game matchup with the Minnesota Twins. Welcome everybody inside Target Field. Rockies and Twins day-night doubleheader. And the first game, we are happy to tell you, went the way of the Rockies by a final score of 5-1. And an official welcome upstairs with my partner Ryan Spilborgs. I'm Drew Goodman. We're bundled up a little bit tonight because it was 82 degrees the other day. We were sweating.
Yep.
And tonight it's supposed to get down in the high 30s maybe.
As long as we're not shoveling snow like I know some of our friends back in Colorado are. I'm sorry, my wife, my beautiful wife, Stacy, she is shoveling snow. I'm sorry, but we're going to watch baseball tonight.
We're going to watch a little baseball tonight. We watched a little baseball this afternoon. The Rockies played a terrific game. They beat Irvin Santana, who's basically been unbeatable this year.
And it came out in the first inning, 10 pitches to get through the first two batters. Then Nolan in a 3-2 count deposits one in the second deck. We now know the Rockies are 20-3 when they score first.
Well, the third inning, the Rockies put a nice rally together. After Nolan was intentionally walked to load the bases, Mark Reynolds said, "You want a piece of me? Here's what you get." 2 more RBIs for Reynolds. He's got 35 now. Then Ian Desmond, who's been Mr. Steady, he clipped a single to right to drive in a run. Unfortunately, Reynolds was cut down at the plate. And then in the fourth inning, the Rockies would continue to add on. Charlie Blackmon, he's got 30-plus ribbies, 31 to be exact, hitting out of the top spot in the lineup. And German Marquez was very sound for 5 innings. Oh, and what would a game be without Greg Holland getting the final out?
And the Nolan Arenado play at Target Field. Like
yeah,
you
nice
got
pick by Desmond, by the way.
You ended up having a little bit of everything from seeing the entire Rockies lineup today. Amarista was in the game. Holland comes in for a 1-out save. Just a great day to start off the doubleheader.
And now to try to sweep the Twins, you'll have Tyler Chatwood on the mound tonight. And we know the story with Tyler. When he's good, he is outstanding. And it's usually been in his poor outings, it's usually been 1 inning.
It has been. You look at it, he's Jekyll and Hyde. That's exactly what it's come down to. If you look at the numbers for him, 6 out of the last 7 starts, Drew, he's walked at least 3 or more. He has to find a way to control his stuff. The last start against the Dodgers, 4 1/3, could not find command with the fastball, spiked it I don't know how many times. He has to trust his stuff. Bud Black looks at him as the guy that he expects to take the biggest leap forward. The stuff is there. He just has to put it together.
Well, the Rockies right now are sitting 11 games north of 500. Chatwood, if he's on his game, can move the Rockies 12 games above 500. We're going to talk about the quarter pole when we return because, believe it or not, that's right, 25% of the season is now in the books. 10. Though the weather hasn't been pleasant, they're enjoying their time so far as they've captured the first two of this series. It'll be a late night off to Cincinnati afterward. The Rockies hoping to produce a sweep this evening after winning 5-1 this afternoon. How about this? The Rockies are 41 games in. For the first time ever, they're 26-15 at the quarter post.
It's pretty incredible. 2.5 games up in the National League West. I think the numbers that stand out, 18 wins by starters, and you're talking about a group of starters led by a bunch of rookies. The bullpen has been fantastic. I just love the way that they played. They make it fun coming to the yard. There's a different edge to them this season. I know we talk about Bud Black. We also have to mention a guy that just started coming and playing for the Rockies of late, and that's Ian Desmond. He brings an edge about him. There is a fire behind how he plays the game. He makes sure once he's in that clubhouse that everyone says hi. He is quietly becoming the leader of that clubhouse, which is nice to see from an outsider stepping in. I think when you look at the versatility that Ian's provided, being able to play first base, great pick today. We saw it on the highlights. His ability to play some left field, which opens up and allows Gerardo Parra to play some left because he's been swinging a bat. And the idea that you can now, with Mark Reynolds not in today's lineup, that you still have versatility, that if you need to put Mark Reynolds in at some point in the game, you can move Ian Desmond from first base to left field. It's just something really significant that we have not seen with that type of flair.
And he's been steady with the glove at first base, steady in left field. I love the leadership aspect. It was not lost on Jeff Bridich and his team. He knew he was getting a really good baseball player who was outstanding naturally in the clubhouse. Rockies are ready to take on the Twins in Game 2. Colorado, Minnesota. Come on back to the Twin Cities with us. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the 2017 Toyota Tundra in your hometown Toyota stores. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. And by Southwest Airlines. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. For the Rockies, second time in a week that they're playing a doubleheader. They look to sweep Minnesota. They're 7-7 now all time against the Twins. And on a chilly night, kind of a sparse crowd has gathered at Target Field, which at full capacity can host just under 39,000. You saw Charlie Blackmon. Here's the Southwest batting order. Chuck at 323. Then LeMahieu next Nolan, his 10th home run in Game 1. Cargo will DH. Desmond, Parra. Tapia is going to play left field. Pat Valakian at shortstop. And in the 9th spot, Ryan Hannigan. And the first pitch from Jose Barrios is outside and low, ball 1, making just his 2nd start of the year for the 22-year-old former #1 pick. And this is a kid who really struggled last year, Spilly, but in his first start, after dominating in AAA this year, he threw a gem at Cleveland. 7 1/3, allowed a run on just 2 hits.
You look at last year, he had 1 quality start in his first start back this season, quality start. I think when you talk to guys and members of the Minnesota Twins, they look at this kid as having electric stuff, that they just want to see him go out and trust it and see where the chips land, because he ended up this offseason pitching some for Team Puerto Rico in the WBC, and he was fantastic, lights out.
As an 18-year-old, he pitched for Team Puerto Rico in the WBC. And this ball is in the air to right and playable for Max Kepler. See a mid-90s fastball. Here are the Twins in Game 2, how they align defensively for Paulie Molitor. Robbie Grossman, Byron Buxton, and Kepler in the outfield. Escobar, Adrianza, the former Giant, Brian Dozier, and Joe Mauer in the infield, and the former Stanford star, Jason Castro, has the gear on. There's Jason. So DJ steps in. 287 average. Home run, 11 driven in, and that pitch, according to Larry Vanover, touched the inside corner, so it's a strike. DJ on April the 12th was hitting 171. Fast forward 5 weeks, and he said just under 290. He's hit 320 since the opening 10 days of the season. It's going to be chilly tonight. It's 53 degrees right now, but the wind's blowing a little bit, and they say it could get down to 40, even 39. But no rain, we don't think, in the forecast. And for the first time in 3 days, we see at least a little bit of blue sky here and there. See, DJ grew up in a lot of different places, but Wisconsin and Michigan, 2 of the places he grew up, so he doesn't need the long sleeves. This is fine for him.
He likes it.
Yeah.
This is right up his alley.
He thinks a hockey game may break out. And he's a good hockey player. You know that about DJ?
DJ loves hockey.
Player,
well,
yeah.
he ended up falling in love with the Detroit Red Wings. I know he spent...
And that's strike 3.
Him and Jordan this offseason spent a lot of games in Detroit going to Red Wings games.
Well, in Game 1 with 2 outs, Nolan stepped up against Irvin Santana. Here's what he did. He demolished that fastball. Santana didn't even want to look. And the Rockies beat Santana, who came in with the lowest ERA in baseball among starting pitchers at 1.50. Barrios just sitting on 95. He's not pitched well in his young career at Target Field. Last year, 0-5, a 989 at home.
He uses a 3-pitch mix. It's fastball, slider. It's more of a slurve than a curveball. They have it written down as a curve, but it looks like a slurve and a changeup. So 3-pitch mix.
That get him? Yeah.
Yep.
Nolan got hit in Game 1, too, and nearly got hit in the head in Game 1. Got out of the way of a 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Ryan Presley, barely.
If you're going to get hit by a pitch, this is how you get hit by a pitch. Let it hit you in the shirt or on the elbow.
Breaking ball hit him, so that'll let Cargo hit here. Cargo 0 for 4 in Game 1. Hit a ball to the wall in left center field. Thought it had a chance to get out. This is only the 4th time in his career that he's DH'd. Gives him a chance to get off his feet a little bit. Rockies back at it tomorrow against Cincinnati. They're in the midst, the early stages of playing 20 straight days. Obviously, they didn't play yesterday, but they still had to come to the ballpark before it was officially rained out. Cargo a little tardy there. It's 0-2. Byron Buxton moving about 4 steps toward left center after those first 2 swings. And on 3 pitches, the last one at 97, Cargo is gone. 2 strikeouts in the first inning for Barrios. Neither team knows a lot about the other pitcher. It is the 3rd start ever for Tyler Chatwood against Minnesota, but the other 2 came in 2011. So the current Twins not familiar with the former Angel Chatwood. Here's the lineup that he will face for Minnesota today. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Brian Dozier naturally will lead off. Then Robbie Grossman will be in left field. Miguel Sano will bat 3rd. Joe Mauer batting cleanup at first base. Max Kepler, a native of Berlin, Germany. Eduardo Escobar, Jason Castro, Byron Buxton, and Ehire Adrianza. Chatwood looking for his 4th victory of the year. He's been better on the road. He was the best on the road in all of baseball when it came to ERA last year. And his first pitch is right there on the outside corner at 94. Strike 1 on Dozier.
The arsenal for Tyler Chatwood, pretty simple. It's fastball, slider. The curveball it has to be his best secondary pitch, and then he's been sprinkling in the changeup, another great secondary pitch. We know he has good secondary pitches. Bud Black talks about it. He asks him all the time to mix it up. But if you're not able to command the strike zone with your fastball, you cannot get to those secondary pitches as easily as Tyler would like.
And a breaking ball slowly hit Nolan with the bare hand. Unbelievable. As many times as we've seen it, you still marvel at his ability to flawlessly grab the baseball, sometimes when it's moving at a pretty good clip, with his bare hand.
I always look into opposing teams' dugouts the first time they actually get to see Nolan make a play, because they look at each other and they shake their heads. They go, "Did you just see that?"
You know, they see Machado twice a year, but they haven't seen this guy. That's a line shot, and it is over the head of Pat Valaika. And a base hit for Robbie Grossman. Jenny Kavnar is naturally with us, bundled up downstairs. Jenny?
Yeah, guys, it's really fun to be at a visiting ballpark, especially in the American League, sitting right by where Nolan is making a play like that, and listening to Twins fans just ooh and ah. They all stood on their feet and started clapping, because they don't get to see that every day. You're right. They see Machado in this league, but they don't see Nolan unless they're watching highlights. So to see it in person, it's still pretty impressive.
And that's one of the neat things about interleague play as Miguel Sano steps up. And Sano pulls this one foul. Well, there's a trend that the Rockies hope continue. The Twins have been swept in their last 3 doubleheaders at Target Field, and the Rockies are halfway there. That just missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ryan Hannigan doing the catching in the nightcap. Tony Walters had a good, solid ball game this afternoon. And it's 2-1. That fastball at 96. Miguel Sano is a native of the Dominican Republic. He signed at 16 for slightly over $3 million. For a while, like he was going to sign with the Pirates.
So there's a documentary following Miguel Sano as in that time frame, and the movie's called Ball Player or Pelotero, and it's fantastic. If you get a chance to look it up, watch it, and it gives you a stark contrast of what baseball is like in the Dominican, trying to get signed, how the age restrictions kind of prevent certain things from happening. If you like baseball, which I know you do, watch the movie.
2-2 with 1 out, and that's a breaking ball in the dirt. 3-2. Every once in a while, you'd hear with kids in the Dominican Republic, teams wondered how old somebody truly was, because the younger you are, the more desirable you are. And a lot of teams didn't believe that Sano was just 16 because he was so big. So big. And he swung the bat so hard. Runner going, swung on and missed, and the throw to second is not going to get Grossman. So 2 out, stolen base for Robbie Grossman, and Sano will have to head back to the dugout. That'll bring up Joe Mauer.
It's good to see Chatty with the 3-2. Looks like a fastball, and he just blows it right past Sano. You can see the late life on that pitch. I know Ryan Hannigan wants to throw him out. But these throwouts, the caught stealing is never on the catcher.
So here's Mauer. Didn't play in the first game of this series against Freeland. And he takes ball 1. Here's the Rockies defense this evening. Raimel Tapia is getting the start in left field. Blackman and Parra in right field. Arenado, Vallejo, LeMahieu, Desmond, Hannigan. So the guys that played the first game in the field: Blackman, Parra, Nolan, DJ, and Ian Desmond. Curveball on the back door. 1 ball, 1 strike on Joe Mauer. What an enormous star this kid was in this town growing up. This kind of a storybook deal. You get drafted by your hometown team. He grew up a few minutes from here in St. Paul. Cretin-Durham Hall High School. Same high school that produced Paul Molitor. 2-1. And how legendary was Mauer? Well, he was a high school All-American baseball player, high school All-American football player. He'd signed to play quarterback at Florida State. And last time I checked, they don't just hand those out to anybody in Seminole country.
6-time All-Star, 3-time batting champ, 3-time Gold Glove winner, 5-time Silver Slugger, 2009 AL MVP. All in his home city.
Whoa. How time flies, because Mauer is now 34. No longer catches first base and the DH.
He hasn't caught behind the plate in years. Dougie and I were spending time before today's game as we were looking at Joe Mauer, trying to think of other players in major sports that grew up in his hometown and had an entire career with one team, and it's rare. Honus Wagner's one of them with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
That's going back.
Cal Ripken Jr.
Yeah.
Born and raised in Baltimore, spent his entire career with the Baltimore Orioles.
Well, Ken Herbeck grew up in Bloomington, Minnesota, where the Vikings used to play, and had a storybook career for the Twins. 3-1, and Chatwood has walked his first. About longest tenure with their current team. 14 straight years for Joe Mauer. Yadier Molina, 14 straight years with the Cardinals, and you know, he's been hurt quite a bit the last few years, including this season. David Wright has been a Met for 14 straight. David dealing with spinal stenosis.
So I'll give you one more player that was born and raised in a city and played for the hometown team, and I think you'll like this name. Lou Gehrig.
Columbia University. Max Kepler at the plate. And that misses. Kepler hitting just 172 his last 19 ball games.
That's a savvy vet move by Ryan Hannigan, calling for a changeup right there, trying to see if he can change the feel for Tyler Chatwood, see if he can get Tyler on top of the baseball, get him to work down.
Billy, it seems to come and go for him. I mean, he can paint for, you know, 2 hitters, and then all of a sudden he'll walk a guy at 4 pitches.
It's all feel.
And he's missed up several times here in this first inning.
It's all feel and release point. If you ask a pitching coach, you ask a pitcher, they'll tell you it's right now mechanically he's in line. He's throwing, he's getting to the right spot. Mechanically he's sound. It's just feel.
Makes a good pitch there and gets ground ball foul. 2-2.
Mentioned earlier, 6 out of the last 7 games for Tyler Chatwood. He's walked at least 3 batters.
Yep, 5 in a row. One pitch he can get out of it. As Hannigan flashes through the signs a couple of times. They haven't been able to agree on a pitch. Two, back up the middle. Kepler's going to drive in the first run of the ball game. And it's 1-0 Minnesota. Just the 14th RBI for Kepler.
Chatty having to go to the well one more time and using the changeup to try to get the out. That's the pitch that Hannigan feels he can best control. Pitch is up in the zone, and after you see a pitch 3 times, it's easier for a hitter to make an adjustment. That first run scored against Chatwood is the very first time this season in 8 starts that a team has scored off of him in the first inning.
Eduardo Escobar at the plate. Tyler had a chance to get through this inning with the minimal amount of pitches, and now he's into the low 20s. And this is where he's got to put his foot down. We've seen sometimes innings like this spiral out of control for him, and he's behind 2-0. Escobar playing third base for Sano here in the nightcap. Just caught the zone, the top corner of the zone, 2-1. Mauer at second, Kepler at first. 2 singles and a walk in the inning. Two and two. Twins had hit a home run in 16 straight coming into the afternoon affair. Rockies did not allow a home run, allowed only 1 run. So that team record tying streak is over. The only other time they hit a home run in 16 straight was back in 1979. German Marquez pitched a very solid 5 innings for the Rockies. A lot of foul balls against him and some deep counts because of that, and that limited German's ability to go deep into the ball game. He pitched 5 innings. He got his 2nd win of the year. Dedicated it afterward to his native Venezuela. There's all kinds of turmoil going on there. And this should get Chatty out of it. DJ sure hands. In the inning, a run comes across on the Kepler base hit. So the Rockies down 1-0 as we go to the 2nd.
To now be a manager in Major League Baseball out of the 30 teams. We welcome you back to Minnesota. Jenny Kavnar with you. And Paul Molitor and Bud Black, they go way back. Let's take a look at their player profiles, the Mini Countryman player profiles. These two guys as players, well, they're pretty good managers, first of all, and then you go way back. Bud Black played 81 through 95, Molitor 78 through 1998. They faced each other a few times, too, and, well, Molitor was 7 for 25 off Bud Black, so I asked him if he remembers any of those hits.
I think there was at least 1 or potentially 2 leadoff homers for sure. There's had to be an over 300 batting average against. 7 for 25? That's all? Really? I thought it'd be more than that. But I know in my mind it was way more than that because he was tough. Him and Robin Yount, bad combo for me at the top of the order.
That Bud Black, sharp as a tack. I feel like he could remember just about any batter that he faced in his big league career. But it's pretty fun when you have managers that match up now that know so much about each other as players, guys.
Yeah, newsflash for Buddy. Molitor and Yount were a handful for a lot of folks. And now Ian Desmond gets drilled. 2nd guy to get hit as Nolan was hit with 2 outs in the 1st inning, and he was ahead in the count. So now you have a leadoff man on for Gerardo Parra.
You don't mind getting hit with 2 strikes, and you can see where it caught Ian Desmond a little bit above the belt. pretty wide miss.
Did that also get Jason Castro on the ricochet? It's the daily double. You don't want to be part of.
Nope.
It's not a winning ticket.
No, thank you.
Desmond already a couple of stolen bases. That's in there for a strike. How about this on Paul Molitor? Big time star. We talked about it the other night at the University of Minnesota. Grew up in St. Paul. He hit .376 his junior year, was an All-American for the Gophers. He was the 3rd pick overall by the Milwaukee Brewers. He played 1 season of minor league baseball, 64 games. He hit .346, and the Brewers said, you know, that's probably good enough. And he never saw the minor leagues again other than a 1-game rehab in 1990 in Beloit, Wisconsin. He went 1 for 4 with a home run. Other than that, every other day was in the big leagues, and he finished his Hall of Fame career batting .306 with more than 500 stolen bases. He's still on the all-time hits and stolen base list at the University of Minnesota. Here's a snapshot of his career: 3,319 hits, 7-time All-Star. He was great in the postseason in his career. First ballot Hall of Famer in '04. Parra takes outside, and now it's 3-1.
Well, I mentioned this story to you guys the other day. I was able to listen to Paul Molitor give his managerial presser, and I have a relationship with Paul. Actually, I probably should have, but it never came to fruition. My college baseball coach at UC Santa Barbara was the assistant pitching coach and friends with Paul Molitor. They spent some time in the Toronto organization together. And my hitting coach thought I hit so similar to Paul Molitor that he said, as a young kid, I'm in high school, coming out of high school, going into college, he said, you should call Paul. So he gave me his phone number.
As you were a 17-year-old kid?
I'm an 18-year-old kid, yeah, getting ready to go to college, and I have Paul Molitor's number, and I couldn't do it. He just ended his career, has 3,300 hits. He's a Hall of Famer.
That'd be a tough phone call to make as an 18-year-old.
Yeah, how do you start that conversation?
Runner going, and this ball is well hit right center field. Kepler running, and he makes a catch. Wow. They talk about Byron Buxton and the range he has. That was one terrific play by Max Kepler. I mean, that's a double off the bat the whole way, you would think.
Gerardo Parra drills this ball. It's all about the angle right there. Max Kepler taking the perfect route to the baseball. Watch Gerardo Parra's reaction. You want to know how good of a play this is? I don't have to say anything else, right?
So with 1 out after the robbery in right center field by Kepler, it'll be Raimel Tapia. Second time in the big leagues this year for Raimel. He was hitting .400 down in Albuquerque, looking for his first knock here at the big league level this season. Wherever Tapia's been, he has always hit. His first year in the Dominican Summer League as an 18-year-old, he didn't have Paul Molitor's number. He hit .262. Since that time, .316, .357, .326, .305, .323, .346. And a balk is called, and now Desmond in a scoring position.
All right, come on.
You see Barrios looking over, and then resets. That's an easy balk call.
All right, come on.
Once he turned that shoulder again. Tapia pulls this down the line. 1 strike on Raimel. So you add all that up, and Raimel's a career .321 hitter in the minor leagues. But he told us at the outset of this series he's going to find a start for Rymel, and here it is. Good outfielder, runs well. High contact rate guy. And that's a called strike.
0 for 8 this season. We're about to see Tapia get into his 2-strike squat approach.
Just
well
great,
located,
yeah. It's a great pitcher's pitch.
Well located. Jason Castro, known for his receiving skills, brought over here by the Minnesota Twins this offseason to a 3-year contract because of being able to steal pitches like that.
And Tapia's gone, and moving to third base on the ball in the dirt is Desmond. Another 2 outs, and Pat Valleca will try to come through. 3 strikeouts for Barrios.
The Rockies have been fantastic with runners in scoring position. 301 on the season, but 376 in the month of May. That leads all of baseball. I'd like to see the 2-out knock.
Valleca looking for his 10th RBI. Playing the last week almost every day for Trevor Story. Trevor's going out. In fact, he'll be with Albuquerque on the field tomorrow. Beginning a rehab assignment. And a couple of sliders back to back. You know, you watch from the dugout, you say, boy, mid-90s fastball touching 97. You get up there and you're sitting dead red, and he flips a couple at you, huh?
I'm seeing some similar mechanics to the late Jose Fernandez and another countryman from Puerto Rico, Javier Vasquez. Remember that name?
Sure. Good pitcher.
Most winningest pitcher in Puerto Rico. Now you can see the mechanics of this kid where it's repeatable. You can see the fastball, you can see the arm angle, you can see the slider.
He did not make the Twins out of spring training, but pitching for Rochester this year, he earned the call-up. He was 3-0 with a 1.13 ERA, 39 strikeouts, just 8 walks, and 39 2/3. Bounces up there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Desmond hit by a pitch, balked to second, moved up on a wild pitch to third. Twins up 1-0. And that's strike 3. Middle of inning number 2, the Twins by a run. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, Minnesota's up a run, and after the Rockies won on Tuesday night 7-3, here were some of his comments in the post-game victorious locker room.
I'm really confident in what we can do. I'm really confident in our team and the direction that we're going. You know, we're starting to come together as like a unit, and it's exciting. We're going to be good. It's going to be a fun summer, and I hope that, you know, the Rockies fans hang in there. You know, yeah, it's early. We know it's early, you know, but these games matter. Come out and support us. Come out and cheer us on. We appreciate it, and it seems like we play better when they're there. So, you know, don't discredit it, please.
It was a comment, and then it was almost not a plea, but he looked right in the camera at that point and said, listen, we're going to be good. It's going to be a fun summer. And he said, come on out. We love when you're out. We play better when you're out. I love that. 2-0 is the count on Jason Castro. Hard not to be impressed with him.
It really is hard not to be impressed with him. I mean, he carries himself in a manner that he commands respect.
2-0, and that cuts way inside, and it's 3-0 on Castro. 7, 8, 9 for Minnesota. Buxton is on deck. Castro was an all-star back in 2013 with the Astros. Hit 18 home runs that year, 276, while doing an outstanding job as a receiver. He also had 35 doubles that year. That's a bunch for a catcher, typically. And a walk. Second walk allowed by Chatwood.
I want to follow up on Desi talking to the camera. It's in the national level now. The Rockies are starting to get the publicity that I think the players are hoping to get. If you look at the MLB.com power rankings, they have the Rockies in the top 5. If you start listening to any of the shows on MLB Network to ESPN, they're starting to put the Rockies in the top 5 as one of the best teams in baseball. And I think if you talk to these players, they believe it. They're buying in. And I think having been on good teams, yes, you'd love to have the fans out there every single game. I'd love to see the stands filled up with Rockies fans. But you have to have the confidence within the clubhouse and then go out there and do it. And once that happens, what we've seen is these guys come to the field knowing they're going to win. And that's rare. It's hard to get that feel.
They've got it right now. Again, the Rockies off to their best 41-game start in their 25-year history, 26-15. Clinton Moore is a believer. 1-1 on Buxton, who runs exceptionally well. Castro a conservative lead at first. And each night we have seen an abundance of Rockies fans. Swung on and missed, 2-2.
Had a chance to talk with Byron Buxton today. He's a good young kid.
A lot of pressure on him, isn't there?
A lot of pressure. When you're the top prospect in baseball, minor league prospect for a couple years, he was mentioning that it feels like
this is well hit, but it's right at Tapia.
He's mentioning that it feels like every single day you go out there that you're supposed to get 3 or 4 hits a night. That the pressure on everybody, the expectations for you to go out is that you're supposed to be a Hall of Famer, you're supposed to be an everyday player. It's not that easy. The game's hard. And I think his teammates, there's some great teammates that have been supporting him, from past Rockies, LaTroy Hawkins, Michael Kadire, Torrey Hunter. Coaches that the Twins have hired this offseason that have told him, hey, if you can do one thing on the ball field, that's what you bring to the table.
I like how Paul Molitor's handled it. He's written his name in the lineup every day. Early in the season, he was hitting the middle of the lineup, wasn't hitting, striking out quite a bit. So Molitor moved him down in the lineup, but he's in there every day. He's playing center field, and he's letting the kid grow up at this level. And you know, you look at the swings, good looking swing.
He's a great looking player. The catch that he made in Cleveland the other day on Mother's Day.
Fantastic.
When the team was losing by 5 runs. You appreciate the effort. You appreciate how humble this kid is.
Here's that catch that Spilly was alluding to on Sunday.
This is the best play you'll see all season long by a center fielder. The amount of distance traveled to get to this baseball. And yes, show the world the ball. I mean, that's, you can't ask for more.
1-2 on A-Ray Adrianza. Hannigan tried to freeze it for Larry Vanover, but it was off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Just off the Subaru strike zone. And when you're spraying the baseball around it, it's difficult to get a call like that.
And the curveball bounces up there, 3-2. Chatwood's so competitive, so fiery, and you know, it's been frustrating of late for him to struggle so much with his command. His release point on his fastball, release point on his curveball, and we've seen him good. We've seen him almost unhittable a couple times this year. 3-2, and he loses Adrianza, so he has walked 3 here in the first inning and a third, and now you have the top of the order and Brian Dozier. Fans join in on the conversation. Use Twitter or Instagram, include the hashtag ToyotaTalk. I'm sure Chatwood reminds himself that, especially with his stuff and his ability to get ground balls at a high rate, he's always just one pitch away from getting a double play. Rockies had to pick up 4 innings out of the bullpen in the afternoon game. Russ and Ottavino done, and for just a handful of pitches, Greg Holland to earn his 18th save. And that misses. And to your point, you're not going to get many borderline pitches like those two when you've been spraying the baseball.
There's times, if you talk to pitchers, they'll say the strike zone looks like they're throwing it against a door. That's how big the strike zone will look like. Right now, it has to look like a postage stamp.
Hard ground ball, deep short. Valaika is going to get a force out. That is a terrific play by Pat Valaika to get an out. Not flashy, just really steady. And you mentioned it the other night. Pat Valaika won a minor league Gold Glove. He can pick it.
He can pick it. Tyler Chatwood needed him to pick it right here with a backhand in the hole. What makes his play great is that's a reverse pivot. He has to turn the other way. That's not a normal pivot for shortstop. And then to get enough on the throw and to put it right in DJ's glove. I mean, level of difficulty 10.
Grossman base hit his first time up. Chatwood's a tough guy to catch typically because of the late movement on his particularly on his fastball, and the spin rate he gets on his curveball. So he's not easy to catch ordinarily. When you set up in a certain place and he's spraying pitches, it becomes that much more difficult for Ryan Hanigan. Just 3 out of 11 first pitch strikes so far for Tyler. Hopefully he can turn it around. Here's Grossman, and he fouls that back, 1-1.
As difficult as it is for the catcher to catch Chatty's stuff, that's the reminder for Chatwood to know, hey, the guy's trying to hit that. It's just as hard. It's also why I tell people at home, have you ever seen a catcher crossed up?
That's a great block. On the wild pitch, Dozier to second.
The curveball right in front of home plate. And you watch as Ryan Hanigan drops to his knee and uses his chest protector, but it's still a fantastic play. Even though you see Brian Dozier take second base, he kept Jason Castro at third base from scoring. But as I was mentioning with a catcher, even if a catcher doesn't know it's coming, they can't catch it. When you see a catcher crossed up, that's what it feels like to hit at the major league level.
Three balls and a strike on Grossman. 2 in scoring position, 1-0 Minnesota. And a ground ball, middle of the diamond. DJ slides, going to get his man. Great play, DJ LeMahieu, to keep Minnesota off the board in the second. First guy to greet him will be Tyler Chatwood. Boy, can he play defense. Hanigan in the top of the order for the Rockies. Fans, when the Rockies score 7 runs or more in any game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Make sure you do it between 4 and 6 in the late afternoon. Get your Rockies taco special, Liv Moss at Taco Bell. DJ LeMahieu is just a fabulous all-around baseball player. And how many times have we seen him do this? He goes to his right, he goes to his left. That's huge. That saved 2 runs right there. Who bat third this inning? Hanigan getting his first look at the 22-year-old Jose Barrios, native of Puerto Rico, 2012, taken 32 or overall by the Twins. He was the compensatory selection that year for Minnesota for losing one Michael Kadire to free agency to the Colorado Rockies. And this is a ground ball in the middle of the diamond. Adrianza throws out the Rockies catcher. One out, and that'll bring up Blackman. See how the Rockies do second time through as they get a feel, Spilly, for Barrios.
I think they might be a little more aggressive with the fastball. They can see it. There's a little late movement, and I think with the secondary pitches, they're pretty much wipeout pitches. The slider is really good, and the changeup has been good too. I think the Rockies will be aggressive the second time through now that they've seen him already once.
Charlie's 10 for his last 17 at the plate. 9 home runs. He's driven in 31. He has an OPS of 980. Which is ridiculous. This is where Charlie ranks as a leadoff hitter. I didn't realize there's 5 guys hitting higher than just 323. First in hits, first in home runs, at least a tie there, and first in RBIs. How about 19 2-out ribbies?
That's my favorite number, the 2-out RBIs.
That is strikeout number 5 for Barrios.
I mean, can you see it? Does it remind you a little bit of Jose Fernandez? Can you see the mechanics behind it? Does he remind you of at all of a little bit of Javier Vasquez? Vasquez in his career, 165 and 160. Had over 2,000 strikeouts, 2,536 when it was all said and done.
He's got an electric arm and a good breaking ball. I don't know, in fairness to the late Fernandez, if you could grade his slider yet where Fernandez is.
I'm just talking mechanically, visually, how he looks to me.
Sure.
And I think it's the pause in the delivery, it's the leg kick, and then how he pulls back. It looks similar in a sense. Yeah, I'm not saying the slider is close to Jose Fernandez's slider, because that was the best slider I've ever seen.
Here's the 1-1. That was a hittable breaking pitch, and DJ is gone as he flies out to right field. A 1-2-3 third inning for Barrios. 1-0 Twins. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And by the Wyoming Office of Tourism, Wyoming is full of adventure. It's time to find out if you are too. That's why. TravelWyoming.com. There's the beautiful Mississippi River. Handful of blocks from where we're situated. And Target Center. Target Field. Near Target Center. Like right across the street. Home of the T-Wolves. 1-0 on Miguel Sano, number 3 hitter in the lineup. And that's a good looking pitch. Cut on the outside corner. 1-1. Set up outside, and that fastball beats Sano. I don't know how many people would have guessed this, but of guys that have averaged the highest number of balls that exit the bat at 95+ miles an hour or hard hit baseballs, number 1 this year in baseball by a bunch is the guy who's about to pop out to center field, Miguel Sano. And as I said, it's not close. This is a minimum of 60 balls put in play this year. 65% of his swings result in hard hit contact. I mean, that's 8 percentage points, or almost 8 percentage points, higher than the future Hall of Famer Miguel Cabrera, who all he does is barrel everything.
Yeah, game 1 against Germán Marquez, hit a baseball straight up the middle for a single in the first inning. Came off his bat at 112 miles an hour. And then, so these numbers that I'm about to give you will make sense. 53 home runs in the first 231 games is the most in Twins franchise history. That's more than Harmon Killebrew, more than Tony Oliva, Bob Allison, Kirby Puckett, Justin Morneau.
And he did the same thing last year. It's even better this season.
He has 80 on the scale from 20 to 80. He has 80 power.
2 balls and a strike on Joe Mauer. He walked his first time up. How many 20+ home run seasons do you think Joe Mauer's had?
1.
He's had 1. That's it. 28 back in 2009. This is in the air to deep left, and Tapia got twisted around. That's going to be a double. And Tapia, who has a reputation as a good outfielder, he turned the wrong way.
Turned the wrong way, and then what makes matters worse is oftentimes you'll see an outfielder, picture yourself as a wide receiver. When the ball gets thrown over the opposite shoulder, they'll snap their head. Watch how he tries to spin that way. If you snap your head, you have a much more athletic attempt to reset your feet and have a chance to catch that baseball. But at the same time, when you have to make that adjustment late, you try to keep your eye on the baseball as long as possible.
Once again, I don't know how Ryan Hannigan blocked that. You know, the old line about 58-foot breaking ball. That bounced at about 55, 56 feet. Kepler had a base hit to drive in a run in the first. 1 out, Mauer at second. And another breaking ball that is blocked by Hannigan. No swing. Larry Vanover's behind home plate. He's the crew chief. Alfonso Marquez at first. Chad Fairchild at second. Nick Lentz is umpiring at third base. .3-0 on Kepler. Kepler's a fascinating story, Spilly. He grew up in Berlin. His mom is American, originally from Texas. His dad is from Poland. They both were ballet dancers and met in Berlin. That's a walk. That's 4 walks now. And Kepler was such a gifted athlete that he had a scholarship to go to the Steffi Graf Academy. in Germany. He also was pushed into baseball by his mom, who, again, grew up in Texas and loved the sport. Just a really gifted athlete. So he graduated high school, an American high school, where he graduated from the school he was going to, and then went to the state, South Florida, for 2 years of high school, and that's where he ultimately got drafted. And now the kid who's a native of Berlin is the Twins' hope of a future big star.
Are there a lot of tennis players that are 6'4", 205? I can't imagine.
There's some tall tennis players, though. I mean, think about the leverage you get on your serve, and especially with that kind of athletic ability. 1-0 on Escobar. Already 63 pitches in with 1 out in the 3rd inning. Ball cut about 8 inches and misses.
Catch the best fireworks show in town this summer on Monday, July 3rd and Tuesday, July 4th, following the game versus the Cincinnati Reds.
Billy, there's an American out there. He had that, 14-day match at, I think it was at Wimbledon a couple years ago. John Ishner. He's 6'10".
What?
Yeah, that's a strike. Dougie will look it up. Remember he had that epic match? Doug, he went like 5 hours. I thought it was at Wimbledon or the U.S. Open. Got to make a pitch here if you're Tyler Chatwood. He's just really been battling his command. Swung on and missed. Big pitch. Chatwood, with his 2nd strikeout of the ball game, gets Eduardo Escobar.
You can see the frustration of Chatwood. He just reaches back and says, fine, hit this. I always love location when it goes above the belt with 2 strikes. Ryan Hannigan pumped up.
Here's Castro, ball 1. So Isner and Nicholas Mahut went, they played 11 hours and 5 minutes of tennis over 3 days at Wimbledon. There's no tiebreaker in the 5th set.
Okay.
You're aware of that in Grand Slam events.
Yeah, of course.
Okay?
Yeah, got it.
Any guess, because you got to win by 2 games, right? Any guess what the final score was in the 5th set?
275 to 273.
That would be crazy, but this is crazy enough. 70-68 in the 5th. 3-0. The Rockies do have an extra pitcher by rule. Now a few years in place. You can add a 26th player when you are playing a doubleheader. So Carlos Estevez is up. That's outside. That's 5 walks. Now the bases are loaded for Byron Buxton. Rockies down 1-0, and Chatwood has 2 outs, but he's got Buxton with the bases loaded. He's been living dangerously, and that slider's in there for a strike. It's got to be so frustrating right now, Spilly, for Chatwood.
I mean, I would assume his blood is boiling. This isn't the first time, and it's uncharacteristic of him based on what he did last year. There's times where early in the season of 2016, he wasn't walking anybody.
Well, either way, even if he was to find it here going forward, because of the number of pitches, you're going to be into your pen fairly early tonight again. 0-2, and he went back to the slider. Why not? He commanded the first couple. 1-2. Buxton last inning lined out to left. Mauer's at third. He doubled. Kepler walked. He's at second. Castro just walked. He's at first.
And when you're spraying the baseball like this for a catcher, there's no sequences to call. There's no game plan. It's just find which pitch can I get him to throw for a strike right now.
Got him. Big pitch there. Chatwood somehow keeps it a 1-run game. He gets his 3rd strikeout, and he leaves the bases full.
Twins connection this week, and one of them being Mike Redmond, the Rockies bench coach. He played here from 2005 to 2009 with the Twins as a catcher, 257 games, a 297 batting average, 44 walks, 106 RBI. So we asked him yesterday, what is it about the Twins way?
Really what it is just a way of playing in the minor leagues, and it starts in the minor leagues, and you think about, you know, Michael Kadire and Morneau and Mauer and all these guys that came up through the system, Jason Kubel, and the way they played the game was aggressive and sliding in hard to second base, a mentality. And so when those guys all came to the big leagues, they had that mentality, and that's kind of what made our team so special.
Well, speaking of mentality, Redmond had a great one behind the dish. 232 games he went without an error. That is the longest errorless streak for an American League catcher since 1913, and by a long shot. A very impressive record that he holds there. And Drew, I know you got the chance to sit down with him yesterday for a conversation that's going to come up on the club on Sunday, but I think something that's really impressive about Mike Redmond is he didn't play the game that long ago. He finished just in 2010. He's already been a manager in the big leagues. He just brings so much experience to the staff, and he's able to relate to the players still.
No question, he brings a lot of energy, and that is strike 3. That's a good slider. And Nolan is strikeout victim number 6 of Jose Barrios, I should say. No, Mike Redmond's a great addition. And one of the Wonderful stories about Mike Redmond. You know why he appreciates this game so much. He was undrafted out of Gonzaga. And not only did he make it all the way to the big leagues, he said, when I first got here, he goes, I wanted to last a week. And he goes, then I wanted to last a month. Cargo foul tip 0-1. Then I was like, all right, I've lasted a year. Hopefully I can get another year in. Next thing you know, he played 12 years in the big leagues. Cargo struck out on 3 pitches his first time. And the Rockies just not picking him up. Barrios has not allowed a hit. The only 2 base runners for the Rockies were hit batters. Nolan in the first and Ian Desmond in the second.
Stuff's electric. You can see it. He's #2 prospect in the Twins organization for the last couple years. 2014 was ranked best changeup and best curveball in the Twins organization. The stuff's there.
He figured something out in the offseason. I don't know if it was at the WBC. His numbers weren't great for Team Puerto Rico, but a great start for Rochester. Again, we mentioned it, 3-0, 1.13 ERA. He was dominant against Cleveland a few days ago, and he's been dominant so far in this game.
The numbers in the WBC had an 8.1 ERA in 6 2/3. Only 3 hits, 10 strikeouts, 2 walks. So it ends up being 6 earned runs during that time frame.
Tonight's just his 16th big league start. Cargo checks his swing, and it's 3-2. Infield straight up, outfield basically straight up. And another strikeout. That's 7 strikeouts for Barrios.
Let's look at the pitch right here. Fastball, 3-2 count. Cargo knows it's coming. You can see the ball explodes out of his hand, but you also have some deception. I keep saying Jose Fernandez. Jose Fernandez would turn, wind, and then as he kick out, he would keep the front side closed and make it really difficult for the hitter to pick up the baseball.
Desmond hit in the side, would reach third base, but unable to score in that second inning. RBI single in the afternoon for Desmond. Big swing and a miss, 1-1. How about the Rockies' road record, folks? 13-5, best in baseball. When you think back to their history, that's a strike. The 3 best road winning percentages for the Rockies. In those 3 seasons, the Rockies went to the postseason. The only plus 500 year, 2009, 41-40. And this is bounced over the mound. And a quick release by the second baseman, Dozier. And that's all for the Rockies. Still without a hit through 4 innings, trailing 1-0. Rockies down 1-0. 9-1-2 for the Minnesota Twins here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Drew Goodman, Ryan Spilborghs, Jenny Cavnar, and that is shot down the left field line by A-Ray Adrianza, and it's going to be a double. Fourth hit.
Chatty just trying to get settled down at the first pitch of the inning. Adrianza shoots it opposite field.
He's probably thinking if he can throw a strike, they're going to take with 5 walks. Just the 4th time that he's thrown a first pitch strike. Actually, the 5th time he's thrown a first pitch strike in the game. And now Brian Dozier, 0 for 2. Brian Dozier last year hit 5 home runs the first 2 months of the season. Then he proceeded to hit 37 more in the last 4 months. We call that a Cargo type year, huh? Like from 2015 when Cargo hit 36 in the final 4 months. Usually an extreme pull hitter. Seems like the pitch, Spilly, that he's able to control the most has been the slider.
He's thrown the changeup a couple times for strikes as well. The Twins already have left 7 base runners through the first 3 innings. Dozier this year has struggled pretty mightily with runners in scoring position. 3 for 26.
Well, you always feel pressure to put zeros up, but particularly so tonight, the way that Barrios is throwing the baseball. If Chatwood could get the strikeout on Dozier, he will.
Whoa.
You kidding me? Where's that?
That's going to be right down the middle on the Subaru strike zone. But you look at this. Watch the late downward movement of the pitch. Larry's not going to give borderline strikes to Tyler Chatwood. That's what happens right now when you're not hitting the glove consistently.
This is lifted to shallow center. It's going to have the same result because Dozier makes an out without advancing Adrianza. 1 gone. That'll bring up Robbie Grossman.
I mean, I get it. You got your American League team that you cheer for in your hometown, the Minnesota Twins, but he's a Rockies fan. But I am one where just pick a team. Come on. Pick your favorite team.
Grossman 1 for 2, robbed of what would have been a 2-run single to end the 2nd inning by DJ LeMahieu. DJ going to his right, slid, fielded the ball, and in one motion threw it in time to get Grossman by about a half a step. Never get tired of watching him play defense. Here's the 1-0. And that's a base hit, and that's going to drive in the 2nd run.
Good piece of hitting by Grossman. You can see where the pitch is. It's located down and away where Ryan Hannigan wants it. Just goes out and punches it into center field. I don't think Tyler's going to be upset with the pitch or the location. Sometimes you tip the cap. You look at the guy at first base. He said that's a good piece of hitting.
Here's Miguel Sano, and he gets jammed. That's outside. And that's fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Minnesota still clinging to first place in the American League Central by a half game beginning play tonight. They're 11-5 on the road, 8-12 at Target Field. Rockies with the win this afternoon have won 4 straight out on the road. Check on Grossman. So here's our man Jim Hicks. Jim's an interesting story. He's got all his Rockies gear on. He spends a lot of time up here. He is a season ticket holder for the Rockies, has not missed a Rockies home game this year. He's also a season ticket holder for the Twins. And he said, I root for the Rockies first, the Twins second. Swung on and missed a strikeout of Sano. And he also wanted to give a shout out to his daughters looking in, Jennifer and Melissa, tonight. But in that while he has not missed a game this year at Coors Field.
It's a good fan.
And he said, I'm coming out. He told us when he came by last week, he said, I'm going to go to Minnesota.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sit in my twin seats and root on the Rockies. And then he's got to make sure that he's back home in a week when the Rockies return to take on the Cardinals.
Appreciate that.
4 strikeouts for Chatty. And that'll bring up Mauer. A walk and a double for Mauer. Ball and a strike.
Pitch count now at 89 pitches through 3 1/3 or 3 2/3. Kind of curious how Bud Black is going to play this if he gets through Mauer. How many more pitches are you willing to let Tyler go out there and throw? Season high pitches for Chatty has been 100, no, not 101.
.105 against the Giants in that complete game 2-hit shutout. Two and 2 on Mauer. Mauer hits out of a little bit of a crouch, and again, more difficult to tell on television. This is a big guy. He's 6'5", about 235.
At his best, Joe Mauer had arguably the nicest swing in baseball. Go back to that year in 2009 when he hit the 28 home runs. The swing was perfect. He's had a couple adjustments due to injury. lost the swing. I think when you have a guy like Mauer and they expected him to hit more homers.
Nice athletic play by Chatwood. That'll end the inning. A double by Adrianza, a base hit by Robbie Grossman. And as we go to the 5th, it is 2-0 Minnesota. Here's our CenturyLink high-speed challenge question. Go to @RootSports_RM to cast your vote. We'll show you the results later on tonight in the postgame show. Who's your favorite player that played for both the Rockies and Twins? And there have been a few. 3 great guys, 3 great choices. Justin Morneau, batting title. LaTroy Hawkins is doing the game on Minnesota's side with Dick Bremer tonight. Hawk, twice a member of the Rockies, the 07 World Series team, and of course Michael Kadire, who also won a batting title in a Rockies uniform. And Spilly, Hawk was your no, I wouldn't do that to you. Hawk was your teammate, and the other 2 guys you got to know. 3 of my all-time favorite Rockies. 3 great guys. Outside, and it's 2-0. Rockies without a hit as they bat here in the 5th against Jose Barrios, the 22-year-old from Puerto Rico. Parra has the Rockies' first knock, and that's fitting because in the 2nd inning he hit a drive to deep right center field that Max Kepler made a wonderful running catch on when it looked like it was going to be an easy double. So Parra breaks up the early no-no with a leadoff single in the 5th. And despite all of the traffic from Minnesota, you almost have to remind yourself, if you're a Rockies fan, it's just a 2-run game.
It's a 2-run game. I love the swing for Parra right there, short and quick. The fastball has been getting on Rockies hitters, and in 11 innings pitched for Barrios this year, only 3 hits. He's given up 3 hits this season. The stuff is electric. I mean, that's pretty obvious now that we've had a chance to see him after 5 innings.
Runner going, swung on and missed, throw to second. Is Parra underneath? He wants him to look at it. The tag was on the legs or mid-body. Parra thinks he got a hand in there. Brian Jones will take a look at it and let Mike Redmond know if it's worth going to New York.
Says he's out. He's going to try to buy some more time. No, keep it going. Let's see where let's see where the tag is. On the back of the leg. Looks like a miss hit and run as Tapia swung through that pitch, and then Parra doing his best effort to avoid the tag.
Castro with a good throw.
the Rockies have not been efficient stealing bases this season. 9 stolen bases. They have now been caught 8 times.
It's one of the few areas where they haven't performed well. They have the fewest stolen bases in the National League. Tapia strikes out for the 2nd time. That is the 8th strikeout for Jose Barrios.
RBI Baseball 2017 returns with fast-paced action with all your favorite teams, players, ballparks, and more. Get RBI Baseball today for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and mobile devices. Learn more at rbigame.com.
Pitch count above 90 for Tyler Chatwood. Jordan Lyles was stretching, but has not thrown a pitch in the bullpen. There's nobody up, so Chatwood's going to come back out in the 5th. Pat Valaika struck out looking to end the 2nd inning. And a low pitch count. 67 pitches, considering there's been 8 strikeouts. This guy's not pitching anything like a guy who had a career 8 ERA.
There's times where teams just bring a guy up too soon. 21 years old last year. And I like it when a guy gets his lumps at the major league level. I love it because it teaches him something. There's always a lesson to be learned on at a major league game. Even if you're a veteran, there's something to be learned, and I think this kid has learned it. Now he's putting it into practice. What I enjoy more is when a guy that has spent time in the major leagues, the team sends him down to start the season in the minor leagues to get some extra seasoning, as they say. And when you go down there and dominate the way he did, that confidence carries back over to this major league level.
2-2 on Valaika, and that is a nasty slider. That is 9 strikeouts as well. The Rockies get their first hit, but Parra was erased on the bases. 2-0 Twins.
we head to the bottom of the 5th. Here at Root Sports, we're the proud home of the Colorado Rockies and also proud to be partners with the Mountain West Conference. I'm joined by Commissioner of the conference, Craig Thompson. We saw you behind home plate, so we thought we might as well come snag you here. You grew up here in Minnesota. Are you a big Twins fan then?
I did, and I am. Back in the 70s when I was going to college, I covered the Twins for United Press International and had a lot of fun. They've kind of been the team, but what a great start by the Rockies.
I know you're also a Rockies fan. You get out to Coors Field every once in a while. What's your baseball background like, Craig? Did you grow up a huge baseball fan?
I grew up a terrible baseball player, big fan. I was awful, so that was not my sport.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the conference. Of course, football season just right around the corner. Hard to believe it's May, but it'll come faster than we know it. Of course, Colorado State's going to open up a new stadium on campus. What other exciting things can we have for the upcoming season?
Well, as you mentioned, Colorado State Stadium, the Mountain Division is loaded. Craig Bowles, Wyoming Cowboys, Colorado State's better. Certainly Boise State, Air Force, that division is loaded, but then the two-time defending champ comes out of the West, the Aztecs, and they'll be back. So it's going to be a great race, a lot of fun, and we have some big non-conference games, and Oregon at Wyoming, and of course the CU-CSU game, but that opener Oregon State in a brand spanking new stadium, August 26th.
Yeah, hard to believe. The conference has been around since 1999, and you've been the commissioner from the very beginning. How has this conference changed all the way now to 2017?
Well, we have 8 charter members, but we have a lot of new, 6 charter members, but a lot of changes. But that's kind of fun, and that's exciting. So we have some new people. We're now starting to get into the 5th and 6th season of some of the same membership and starting to meld together a little bit. But I think it's very competitive. It's exciting nationally, and we've had a lot of history to fall back on and some big bowl games.
Yeah. Well, we always look forward to football season, basketball season with the Mountain West. We're glad we could catch up with you. Enjoy Minnesota, and I guess it's a little warmer here than back home and all the snow.
Well, it's a toss-up because I have about 8 inches of snow in Monument today, so maybe my flight's delayed tomorrow. We'll see.
Hey, that might just mean some more baseball for you guys. We'll send it back up to you.
All right, Jenny, thanks very much. Craig Thompson, the commissioner of the Mountain West Conference. Boy, we have a lot of fun covering the Mountain West in the autumn and the winter. Looking forward to that again. But I'm looking forward to the rest of this baseball season. 4.5 months, hopefully a lot more than that to go for the Rockies. Chatwood has the first 2 guys out for the first time in the ball game in an inning, and now he'll look at Jason Castro, who has walked twice. And that pitch just a little bit low.
As I'm watching Chatty after 100 pitches now, the stuff is still there. And I think if you talk to guys that have had great sinkers, they're better off later on in the game once they get settled in.
That's a good job by Hannigan, kind of hooding that pitch to make it appear as a strike, borderline pitch.
102 pitches now for Tyler Chatwood. If you can get an out right here, I would be tempted to let him go and start the 6th inning.
Even if he doesn't, the fact that he walked 5 guys to this juncture and dealt with all the traffic, to get them at least 15 outs and not make it a really early exit is big. And isn't it interesting, because in this frame, his command has been better than we've seen it all evening.
That's what I'm saying. I think when you're looking at it, better off mechanically. He's a lot more relaxed. I think when you get wound up and tight and you're feeling great, he has a tougher time controlling the fastball.
2-2 on Castro.
It's probably the same conversation that Steve Foster and Buddy are having. There hasn't been a big dip in velocity.
That's a great pitch. Easy play for DJ, and easily the best inning for Tyler Chatwood. So we'll go to the 6th inning. It's 2-0 Minnesota. Charlie Blackmon, he'll lead things off. Top of the order for the Rockies when we return.
Brought to you by UC Health. Well, in between games, players will typically do different things. They'll watch Game 2 starter videos. They'll hit in the cage. I love taking a nap. Most of the guys will eat and some will play cards or having a staring contest. I like staring contests. You look at your friend sitting across from you and you keep bugging them as they're trying to nap. Just like my partner to my left loves to do to me.
Something like that. I said Charlie's leading it off. Charlie's batting second this inning. Ryan Hannigan's leading it off. There's Buddy talking to Tyler Chatwood. A little more movement in the Rockies bullpen. We're still trying to figure out.
That looks like handshakes.
Yeah, and I think at 105, that seems to be close to the ceiling for most arms this time of year. This is slowly hit to short. And Hannigan's retired 6-3. So this kid has come back to the major leagues this year, and he's pitched 12 2/3, Spilly. He's allowed 1 run on 3 hits, and he has struck out 17 and walked 1.
That's how you announce your presence with authority.
I guess so. Ball 1 on Charlie. Fly ball to left and a strikeout. Well, Thad Levine, who used to work for the
it's good to see him.
Rockies, just dropped by to say hello, the general manager of the Minnesota Twins, and he has to be thrilled watching what Barrios has done. They're in all kinds of meetings right now because it's only a month away, and they're going over the top names in the draft because, again, they have the first pick in the June draft. A lot of former front office folks for the Rockies have been able to move along to the top jobs in baseball, the general manager job. This is rolled to first. 2 outs as Mauer runs to the bag.
I was trying to build a tree of where it's starting because I know Dan O'Dowd had a lot of guys that have turned into general managers, but if you go to Dan O'Dowd's mentor, it was John Hart back in their time in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And if you look at the guys that have left Cleveland to finding general managers jobs, you almost look at Cleveland as that's been the one spot where they've all kind of shot out of.
Number out of Cleveland and a number that worked with Dan in Denver, including Jeff Bridich.
Jeff Bridich, Billy Epler.
Josh Burns, Billy Epler with the Angels now as the general manager. He went to the Yankees initially and was far up the food chain there.
You can consider Bill Guyvet.
Yeah. And now Thad Levine getting the job after a number of years in Texas. John Daniels.
John Daniels, yep. Dan had Chris Antonetti under him when he was with Cleveland. Antonetti is now the president for the Cleveland Indians, but prior he was the general manager for the Indians.
In the air to fairly deep right field, but Kepler retreats and makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3, 6th inning. 2-0 Minnesota. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Chilly night in Minneapolis. 2-0 the Twins after the Rockies won the afternoon affair 5-1. They won on Tuesday night 7-3. So the Rockies have guaranteed themselves another series victory as Chad Qualls takes over here in the bottom of the 6th. The Rockies have played 13 series this year. They've won 9. They've lost only 2. They've tied 2. And over their last 6 series, they've won 5, haven't lost any, and they had the one tie, that 4-game split last week against the Dodgers. Byron Buxton out of the 8th spot in the lineup to face the veteran Chad Qualls. And Chad with a hard sinker, good pitch, and Buxton trying to bunt his way on over the top, 0-1. So Chatwood goes 5 innings. His best inning was his last, 1-2-3 5th. 2 runs, 5 hits. He walked 5. That's been the troubling issue for Chad. And he struck out 4. Chad for Tyler, I should say. 1 ball, 1 strike on Buxton, who's 3 for his last 20.
When you look at the 2 runs that the Twins scored with the 5 walks, none of them scored via the walk. So you look at Grossman with the base hit in the first inning, ends up moving over because of a walk. And then Max Kepler with the base hit. And then leading off that 4th inning, Adrianza had the double.
Two and 1 on Buxton. And that is lined into the seats foul. Buxton reaches for it. Desmond is going to run out of room. You see that screen? I don't know if you could tell there over the dugouts. The Twins in Target Field, one of the few teams in baseball that have the screen.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That protect fans in those first few rows.
Good for the Twins.
From screaming line drives.
Yes. As players, we get nervous.
Ground ball to third. Easy play for Nolan. And again, it's Desmond who came off the bag and made a sweep tag. He's getting the subtle things down very quickly. He did that in the afternoon game also. And he had a couple of nice picks today. Watch Desmond. It's a rare throw that's slightly offline from Nolan.
It's a great tag right on his leg.
And you got to spin with it and go with it, don't you, Spilly, so you don't get your arm stuck and risk injury.
You're right. On the Subaru Supermo, you see where the tag is on the back of the calf. So today's the 52nd doubleheader all-time for the Colorado Rockies. You want to make a guess what the record is?
I know what it is, so you go ahead with the story.
It's crazy. 51 and 51. There's been 19 splits, 16 sweeps, and 16 times they've been swept in a doubleheader.
Isn't that amazing? Adrianza with a double in the 4th inning, and he would score on a base hit by Grossman. Do you know that net there, it's not as cut and dried and as simple as you may think. People are saying, well, why doesn't every stadium do that? Because there are a lot of season ticket holders, this is right at Desmond, that pay, you know, a healthy dollar amount to sit right behind the dugout, and they don't want any obstruction. I know from your standpoint, Spilly, and from mine as a broadcaster, we see so many balls that go shooting in there, and you just cringe and hope nobody gets hit. And we do see people get hit.
Our argument as players has always been, I thought the most expensive seats in the house were right behind home plate. And what are those people looking through? They're looking through a screen. I get fans wanting the fan experience, but the ball's coming at you at an alarming rate. And unless you're watching every single pitch, which I know most people aren't, it's dangerous. Players would specifically ask traveling secretaries to not allow their family to sit on the sides. Players will purposely put their family behind the nets.
Well, we were that way. When my kids, when Chris and the boys went when they were really young, there was no way they sat down anywhere close. It's just too easy to get distracted. And we had this conversation many times in the past. If you're on the open side, in other words, you have a right-handed hitter up right now, Brian Dozier. If you're on that first base side, above the dugout, anywhere, you can't look at your phone for a moment. You can't go and reach for your pretzel, for your cold beverage. You got to be focused on that hitter. Now, if you're on the third base side right now, a whole lot less likely that he's going to open up and somehow hit a line drive over the dugout.
And I know some of the fans, their comment was, well, we're not going to be able to get a baseball. Players will still throw the ball over the net and give you a baseball.
2-2. Charlie, you know, in the on-deck circle got hit a few days ago. Remember that? On a foul ball. Those hitters, a lot of them, want to get as close as they can to get a feel for ball movement, I assume, Spilly, and to see how firm the fastball is. And he got hit with a foul ball. Fortunately, got hit on the hip and was just fine. And Charlie's got to retreat. And is he going to have a play? Yes. In the middle of the track, he catches the long drive by Dozier. A 1-2-3 inning for Chad Qualls. 8 in a row now set down by the Rockies. They got to get some offense. Ball break brought to you by T-Mobile. All right, career interleague batting average among active players with at least 300-plus plate appearances against the other league. Dustin Pedroia, 338. Matt Carpenter of the Cardinals. Jose Altuve. There's Cargo. And Charlie Blackmon tied at 322 along with another participant in tonight's game, Joe Mauer. Last year, Cargo hit almost 500 against the American League. Nolan fires at the first pitch. The Rockies have the middle of their order up. It's Arenado, Gonzalez, and Desmond. The Rockies have one hit through 6 innings. That was a leadoff single in the 5th through the right side by Gerardo Parra. The only other 2 base runners, Nolan was hit by a pitch in the 1st. Desmond hit by a pitch in the 2nd. This young man, Jose Barrios, has been fantastic. He has 9 strikeouts, which is a season high for any Twin starter. native of Puerto Rico. Was going to go to Miami-Dade South if he didn't sign, but he was a compensatory first-round pick, a supplemental first-round pick, if you will, back in 2012. Told you the story earlier. The reason they got that compensation was for Michael Kadire leaving to the Rockies.
Between innings, I sprinted over to the booth next to us and talked to LaTroy Hawkins about this kid. It's like, how good's his stuff? I said, it's good. LaTroy said, I've never had stuff like that. I said, well, he had a rubber arm. He threw 97. He was like, yeah, but I never had that stuff. Otherwise, I would have been a much better starting pitcher.
That misses 1-2. And Hawk originally was a starting pitcher for the Twins, and then they moved into the bullpen, eventually became a very effective closer and a setup guy. He's having fun. He's enjoying being a special assistant, enjoying doing the broadcasting. And this is popped up in the middle of the diamond. Dozier, 1 out.
Oh, really? You guys are going to make me read the warning track party? The warning track party room offers a field level view of the game. Prices start at $110 per person and include a food and beverage package. Call 303 Rockies for more information. Yeah, warning track Billy. That's really funny.
It said warning track party. It didn't say warning track
Yeah, but they
power.
asked me to read it.
Cargo lathers this one into left field. The Rockies have their second hit. That wasn't a bloop, but when you're down 2 runs, the old line in baseball, a bloop and a blast, and you're even.
Well, Carlos Gonzalez is second on the team with exit velocity. When we look at what he's done this season, you see the numbers, they're not good. He's hitting 207. But what I want to point out is the batting average ball in play is about 255. That's almost 100 points lower than his career average. He is hitting the ball hard. He's just hitting the ball at people.
So Desmond at the plate. And the fastball at 94 is outside, ball 1. It said, listen to me, warning track party, not power. Okay, you're okay. You're all right.
I'm not okay. I lost all face.
I thought your BP was good. You spread it around the field.
You're in a
hits.
home run derby. You're supposed to hit a home run.
Yeah, that's what.
I hit the wall.
Yeah, you know who said that also? Charlie about you. I was doing a little radio show with Charlie the other day, and I told him a story, and he said, yeah. He said, that's great if Billy's still playing. He's not. He said it was a home run derby.
Gerardo Parra calls me 200 now because he says I raised $200 in that hitting contest.
He could have raised a little more money to hit a target or something. One and 2 on Desmond. We'll send you straight to therapy when we get home. 91 pitches. About at this point, you want to get into that bullpen after watching this guy throw. Rockies beat Irvin Santana this afternoon. Nobody's been doing that. Santana came in 6-1. There's a Colorado kid out of Chatfield High School, Taylor Rogers. Santana's 1.50 ERA coming in was the lowest among any starter in baseball. And Desmond with the quick bat fouls that pitch off. Desmond came in hitting 370 out on the road. That is strikeout number 10 for Barrios.
Today's game, we've seen some great reactions by Rockies hitters. You saw Parra earlier once Max Kepler made that catch. You can see Desi right there. Watch the reaction looking straight at Barrios. Man, that's nasty.
Here's Parra. Parra's hit the ball hard twice against Barrios. Deep shot to right center, tracked down by Kepler, and then the base hit through the right side, and this is going to be right at Dozier. So Gonzalez left aboard, middle of 7. The Twins continue to lead behind Jose Barrios 2-0. Here's our game summary brought to you by Cooney. Tyler Chatwood gave up a first inning RBI single to Max Kepler as he poked the changeup to center field. And then a base hit from Robbie Grossman scored Adrianza, who had doubled. Those are the only 2 runs of the ball game. Chatwood went 5 innings battling command again. But the story of this game has been Jose Barrios. He has struck out 10. He's allowed the Rockies 2 singles. That's it. In just his second start of 2017. He's had almost unhittable stuff. Qualls through a good 6th inning, and now he'll hand the baseball to Scott Oberg, trying to keep it a close ball game. And Oberg with a slider for a strike on the inside corner. It's Grossman, Miguel Sano, and Joe Mauer. 2, 3, and 4 for the Twins in the bottom of the 7th inning. 19th appearance for Scott Oberg.
I like the ability of Oberg showing a first pitch off speed. Grossman already with 2 hits today, both on fastballs.
This ball's hit a long way right center field, and moving back and making the catch is Blackman. There must be some wind out there.
There's some traffic.
Billy.
Yep, there's some traffic. You saw Brian Dozier's reaction after he ended last inning with a deep fly ball to center field. He looked at the first base coach, Jeff Smith, and just kind of smiled. Come on. That ball is hit hard, and it's an out.
Tony Walters, that's why there's a little stoppage in play. Tony's coming in from the bullpen. Here's Sano, 0 for 3. Chatwood struck him out twice, and on that slider, did he go? He did. 0-1. Now, 2 chilly spots right now in the country, Minneapolis and Denver. Target away and a ground ball toward the middle and on through. So Sano has a base hit. Actually a pretty good pitch. Sano's got such long arms, he was able to get enough of the barrel on it to get it through the middle of the diamond.
Broke his bat with that base hit as well.
Yeah,
Coors Field is a great place for group outings. Groups of 25 or more receive discounted pricing, scoreboard recognition, and other great benefits. Call today for more information.
A walk, a double, and a comebacker for Joe Mauer. Yeah, you were saying it earlier, how many guys grew up in a town, played in that town, and stuck around that town. It just doesn't happen.
Tony Gwynn was another one I forgot to mention.
Yeah, Tony was from Long Beach, a little north of obviously San Diego, more in the LA area, but
close enough.
Close enough. And Tony famously, you know, turned down, I'm sure, a ton more money to go other places and to become Mr. Padre and stay Mr. Padre. Late Tony Gwynn. 1 ball, 1 strike on Mauer. And that's a good looking fastball, 97 from Oberg.
But to grow up in the city that your team played in, like Kyle Freeland with the Rockies, and then turning into the face of the franchise, it just doesn't happen. That's why we pointed out to the 5 or so players. Cal Ripken probably gives you the greatest example.
Well, that was crazy because his dad was managing and his brother was playing second and he's playing short. I mean, it's like a little league team and they're playing at the highest level. Two balls, 2 strikes. You know, Paul Molitor has come back home to manage. He finished his career in Minnesota, but he was drafted and spent the majority of his Hall of Fame years with Milwaukee. Two on Mauer. And this should be 2. It'll be an easy double play. Good job by Scott Oberg. So the pitching has settled down. See if the Rockies, with 6 outs to work with, can get something going down 2-0. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Say yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new guacamole and bacon sandwich only at Jack in the Box. Don't get up here as frequently, but it's always good to be in the Twin Cities. Cranes everywhere. City's doing well. They're getting the Nicollet Mall all cleaned up in preparation for the Super Bowl.
Is it this year or next year?
It's next. Well, it's the 2008. It's the end of the 2017 season, February of 2018. Tapia takes a strike. It is still Jose Barrios out there with a pitch count in now the upper 90s. That was his 96th delivery. 7-8-9 for the Rockies.
This is the best stuff the Rockies have seen all season long. As far as fastball, the slider, the secondary pitches, what Jose has done today, the guys are going to tell you in the postgame. They're going to say that's the best stuff we've seen all season long.
That's a good job by Tapia, somehow making contact with that baseball. Matt Belisle now along with Taylor Rogers in the Minnesota bullpen. And in front of them is Carlos Estevez. It's really interesting. There's some bullpens that are close in proximity. I mean, these guys are like dining together out there, huh?
Pittsburgh has it. It's not a lot.
Strikeout number 11.
Stuff's electric. I mean, there's stuff's really good. It is on the hitters. It's the 8th inning. He's still blowing away guys. This is the 3rd strikeout for Raimel Tapia. You see the late movement.
Pat Valaika, he too has struck out twice. Tony Walters has come out in the on-deck circle. That's why Tony was coming in from the bullpen. And Buddy wants to get another left-handed bat in there to face Barrios.
That 11th strikeout is the most strikeouts by a Twins rookie since Matt Garza did it back in 2007. Brian Dozier having to give the baseball chase because that wind we mentioned earlier is playing tricks on the baseball.
To God, Tony Walters will hit for Ryan Hannigan. On the Road is brought to you by Lazy Days RV. And the Rockies on the road, longest road trip of the year. 10 ball games covering 11 days, as Monday was an off day, and then Wednesday turned into an off day of sorts. Over the weekend in Cincinnati, and then 3 of the 4 ball games in Philadelphia will be right here on Root Sports. The Thursday morning game will not be. Tony Walters takes a slider away, ball 1. You ever gone RVing?
I've been wanting to. I've been begging my wife to let us rent an RV and take the family.
You got to do it, and especially because your kids are the right age, they'll have a blast.
Yeah.
It is so much fun. We've done it a few times. One season many years ago, because my in-laws have had different motorhomes at different times, and when the kids were really young, I'm trying to remember, 5'3" and an infant. We finished the season against the Padres. It was still Qualcomm, and we took the RV and took our time driving back, saw a bunch of national parks. Moab, at Arches. You ever been to Arches National Park?
Nope.
You got to go. Beautiful. But we had a great time. We've done it a few times. So go down to Lazy Days RV, get yourself an RV, and
yep, I'm going
off you go. 3-1 on Tony. That's ball 4, and for the first time, Barrios has walked a batter. He doesn't really come close to walking a hitter. He's hit a couple.
You look at the pitch count, and that's going to probably be the end of the night for Jose. Ball going to the lefty.
The crowd's upset. They say, keep this kid in. He's been great.
You have to protect your youth. 22-year-old, that's the best stuff I've seen this season. You tip your cap. He deserves it.
2-0 Minnesota. In the top of the 8th inning, Blackman coming up with Walters at first base. It is time for our Kubota pitching performance. Tyler Chatwood's best inning was his last inning. He battled control issues once again, but only gave up 2 runs in the 5 innings. Jose Barrios is a guy we've talked a lot about, and deservedly so. 11 strikeouts, just 1 walk. That just occurred. 106 pitches, 7 2/3 of shutout baseball in just his 2nd start of the year. He was very impressive, this 22-year-old. And now, a nice story. Going to the mound is Taylor Rogers out of Chatfield High School. He went from Chatfield to the University of Kentucky, drafted out of the University of Kentucky. And this will be his 19th appearance this year. He's got a twin brother, Tyler, who's doing really nice things in AAA with the Giants. In fact, this year he has a 1.40 ERA with the Giants. That's on the inside corner for a strike at 94. Taylor and Tyler talk all the time. And mom and dad may have a problem on their hands. May have 2 big leaguers in a second, not sure which town to go to. That's inside. 1-1 on Charlie.
It's a great story, and Taylor watched a lot of games at Coors Field. He's telling me that he watched a 2007 team when he was about 17 years old, about 50 games at Coors Field.
And Charlie hits this ball well to center field. It's carrying. Buxton in front of the wall makes the catch, and Charlie knows he missed that by a smidgen.
I don't think he missed it. I think he got all of it. It's just too windy.
Nothing as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Coors Light Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean and Crisp Coors Light. Greg Holland earlier today picked up his 18th save. He's 18 out of 18 for the Rockies. And that is a Rockies team record through 41 games. It's the second most ever through 41 games in history, I mean. Only Danny Graves, your old friend, Billy, saved 19 games in the first 41 for the Reds back in 04. You sent a shout out to Danny earlier today, didn't you?
Always have to tease an old teammate.
Carlos Estevez, welcome back. He's the 26th man here in Game 2, and he was sent out, and he did a great job down in Albuquerque. It was really just a numbers game when Qualls came back, and Carlos pitched in 5 ball games, 5 2/3 shutout innings down in Albuquerque, allowed just 3 hits, 6 strikeouts, no walks. So Estevez, very professional, going down there and working on command, and he was dominant. You cannot have enough depth. 1-1 on Kepler, batting 5th in the lineup tonight for Minnesota. 1 for 2 and a walk, and Kepler is going to line this ball to the gap, and he's going to have himself a double.
Kepler's had a nice game for the Twins today. 2 for 3 with a walk. And anytime you face somebody with big fastball like Carlos, shortening up the swing.
I didn't think that was a bad pitch.
It wasn't. No, it was a good pitch, down and away. But when you're 6'4", you got long levers and you have a short swing, and you're not trying to generate, you can touch the baseball and drive it in a gap.
Eduardo Escobar, 0 for 3. 98 in on the knuckles, 0-1. Rockies heading to Cincinnati right after the ball game. The Twins staying at home. They have the Royals coming in, a struggling Kansas City club. That's off the plate. Tony Walters, we should mention, naturally is behind the dish now. Boy, that is a heavy fastball. 99. Hit it if you can.
You can't. Even on the Subaru strike zone, you see where the location is. It's pretty much down the middle. Not going to touch that.
It's nice when you can go get triple digits, right?
I would know.
Not many would.
The first 10,000 fans on Saturday, May 27th, will receive a Nolan Arenado jersey, courtesy of King Soopers. That's sweet.
Well, in the 9th inning, you'll see Nolan. It'll be LeMahieu, Arenado, Gonzalez, and hopefully many others. Estevez trying to keep it a 2-run game. Leadoff double, 1 and 2 on Eduardo Escobar. You were talking about U.S. Bank Stadium earlier, where they're going to host the Super Bowl, new home of the Vikings. I jogged by that today. It's like it looks like a museum of sorts. Nouveau modern looking deal. You would
That's
think
a stadium?
That's a stadium. I mean, look at that.
That's gorgeous.
Isn't it?
Yeah. And that's not a rendering. That's the actual stadium right there.
That's a photo
Wow, nice.
That our ace photographer Charlie Felix took. Foul tip held, and that is a strikeout at 99. Big strikeout there. Escobar is gone, and that'll bring up the catcher Jason Castro.
That is a huge strikeout. When you're trying to keep this score at 2-0, again, elevate the fastball a little bit, just enough to get him to swing through it for a second time. You did not want to see Max Kepler get to third base with less than 2 outs.
Valleca's right in his hip pocket with Castro at the plate. 2 walks and a ground ball to second for Castro. And that's a slider on the outside corner at 87, 0-1. Well, I was at the Super Bowl festivities the week in New York when it was over in the Meadowlands a couple years ago.
Is that the Broncos-Seattle one?
It was the Broncos-Seattle one. That's down low. And it's going to be similar. It's cold here in the winter. There's no question about it. So all those walkways indoors from block to block between buildings will be utilized, but it'll be a nice change of pace. Here's the 1-1.
I was never a big fan of Super Bowls indoors. When the guys played some of the games at Lambeau in December and January, and then you get indoors for the Super Bowl. I like seeing the cold weather teams play in cold weather. I like seeing the warm weather teams play in cold weather too.
Well, the one in the Meadowlands obviously was outdoors. There's no roof on that stadium. It's 3-1. Castro gearing up for the fastball, and it's outside. So first and second, 1 out. Byron Buxton coming up. It's the 6th walk allowed today by the Rockies. 5 by Chatwood. You know, even in this ball game, Spilly, where the Rockies have only a couple of hits, they have kept this game within striking distance.
And that's due in part to the Twins' lack of production with runners in scoring position. In today's doubleheader, tallying it all up. And I know this is the kiss of death. People always hate it when we do these stats, but we have to give you the numbers. Twins are 2 for 17 with runners in scoring position.
1-0 on Buxton. 1-1. He backed way off that breaking ball. And he'll throw a slider in the upper 80s. He can touch 90 with it. That was 82. One and another big heater, and it's 1-2. Got him.
Nice pitch.
Man, that was like an aspirin coming up there. 2 outs.
This is as hard of a pitch as any right-handed hitter can handle. Maybe one guy in the league can handle that fastball in right there. Maybe Nolan can handle it, but for a majority of guys, there's not a lot you can do. You can basically just tie yourself up and foul it off at best. Ray
Adrianza Scored the second run after a leadoff double. That was in the 4th inning. That's a strike.
First pitch in the super strike zone, called a ball that could have been easily called a strike. But you still like the location down in the zone.
One and one on the former Giant Adrianza. Good pitch. I think his location's better, don't you?
He's more in line. You can see it. Not a lot of effort. You watch his front shoulder. You watch his front elbow. It points directly at the target, and then his arm follows it. It makes sense when you're looking at the super strike zone where his pitch location is.
He's a little less violent to the plate. Something he worked hard on during spring training. Steve Foster, Buddy Black. Hoping for a 9th inning rally. First things first, with 2 on and 2 outs. Got to get Adrianza. Good block by Walters. 2-2. Two and two on Adrianza. Estevez is ready. And a broken bat, softly hit ball, safe at second base. Good try by DJ. And Castro got a good jump and just beat the throw on the potential force out. So now the bases are loaded for Brian Dozier.
DJ takes a great angle to get to this baseball and prevent it to go into the outfield. He still had the ability to try to make a play out of it. They might have an argument.
You know what? They're going to take a look. Yep, they are going to take a look at this. What do you got, Spilly?
I'll have to take a look again. I want to see the angle. I think if Valleca's foot is on the bag, he's out.
Look at Larry Vanover. Is it summer behind the plate?
He's tough.
Chad Fairchild's like, dude, I'm freezing. Larry's in Miami and Chad's in Minneapolis. All right, let's take a look again. Man, that's close.
It is close. All depends on Valleca's foot. If it's on the bag, as you see him reset his feet.
Oh, you know what? Did he come off? Then it becomes a tag play, though.
So probably going to call him safe.
Yeah. It's one of those deals that had he been called out, I think it would have remained an out call. And since he was called safe, it remains a safe call. So the bases are loaded, 2 outs, and Brian Dozier will come up. There goes an infield hit. Dozier's 0 for 4. And that's strike 1. Well, the face of this franchise is clearly Joe Mauer, but maybe the voice of the franchise more Brian Dozier. Not a knock on Joe Mauer, he's just more of a quiet guy. That's on the outside corner, 0-2. Good pitch, nice slider.
See the late movement on the slider off the plate. Received very well by Tony Walters.
Make one more pitch here if you're Carlos Estevez. He does, strikes him out on 3 pitches. Nice job by Estevez. And he works out of a bases loaded situation. So we go to the top of the 9th inning. The Rockies down 2-0. And they'll have LeMahieu, Arenado, and Cargo. Desmond and Parra beyond that. Limited to 2 hits. They will try to get after Brandon Kinsler, the closer for the Minnesota Twins here in the top of the 9th. Who wants tacos? Fans follow at @RootSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 or more runs. It's been a day-night doubleheader. The afternoon game, the Rockies prevailed 5-1. They're down 2-0. LeMahieu will lead it off against Kinsler, the 32-year-old right-hander, who's had a baseball career, hasn't he?
He really has. You look at the career that he's gone through. Originally drafted by the Padres in the 40th round. Had a hurt shoulder. Gets released in 2006. Grinds through independent ball. Makes an all-star team. Gets signed by the Brewers. And now he's closing for the Minnesota Twins some 5 years after getting back into professional baseball. Kinsler will feature basically a sinker. That's it. He's got a great fastball, and he will throw it down in the zone. Not a lot of strikeouts, but he will compete.
Kinsler, a former Brewer. This year he's 10 out of 11 in saves. Last year he saved 17. He was much better on the road than at home. And his first pitch is a strike at 93. DJ taking the whole way. LeMahieu's 0 for 3. Most everybody's 0 for today. That's how good Jose Barrios was. 2 hits, a Parra single, a Cargo single. That's it. That's inside. Kinsler, a native of Las Vegas. And this is an easy play for Dozier. bring up Nolan with 1 out. A reminder, we'll have our Toyota postgame show immediately following the last out of this ball game. Jenny Kavnar, Ryan Spilborgs.
So a story that Brandon Kinsler shared with me today. He's an independent ball, 3 years in independent ball, looking to sign and just have scouts see him. Well, there was no scouts that watched him pitch up until an All-Star game. At that time, he was at a crossroads. There was an opportunity to audition as Tim Hudson.
This ball lined to center field, get down, it will. So now the Rockies get the tying run to the plate in Cargo. Finish that story. It's a fascinating one.
It's a fascinating story. So he had an opportunity to audition in Los Angeles as Tim Hudson for Moneyball.
Pretty big movie.
Ended up doing well, yeah. And he was getting offered $700 if he gets the part. Well, he needed the money, but decided to turn it down and pitch in the independent All-Star game that he was starting. Brewers saw him pitch, signed him to a $1,000 minor league deal, and he's pitching in Double-A a couple weeks later.
Good for him. Made the right decision.
Oh, no, Moneyball was a good movie.
He made the right decision. Inside on Cargo. 1 out, 1 on. Well, the most famous independent team is a few minutes from here in St. Paul, the St. Paul Saints. And in the Minnesota Star today, they had 2 pages breaking down the St. Paul Saints roster, bios of each guy. Inside, 2-0. Bill Veck's son Mike used to run the St. Paul Saints. He had all kinds of creative promotions. 2-0 on Cargo. 3-0 with Desmond on deck. Ball 4, and now 2 are on. 1 out with Desmond coming up. Starting to get interesting.
Twins had not been able to add on any runs throughout the day. And the 2 runs, not quite enough to just make them feel confident and comfortable with this Rockies lineup.
And I'll tell you what, if it gets beyond Parra to Tapia, a lot of good things will have happened already. You have Mark Reynolds available.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind, but in between games said, Mark Reynolds will hit tonight in a key situation.
And there's Mark. He's got the gear on. Helmet, batting gloves, and a wand. 1 strike on Desmond. Desmond an RBI single in game 1. 0 for 2 in this one. He was hit by a pitch. And that has Desmond fuming. He thought that was low, but it caught the bottom of the Subaru strike zone. He'll have to battle behind 2 strikes.
Late movement, well received by Jason Castro to present that to Larry Vanover. And as a hitter, you have to clear your mind. Try not to get too frustrated and don't open up your normal zone.
One and 2 on Desmond.
Oftentimes you'll see a guy chase a pitch like that. You get frustrated with the 1-0 count or a 0-1 count. You think it's a ball, and it ends up getting called a strike. You'll chase pitches.
Slowly hit to third. It is a foul ball. I'll tell you what, if it stays fair, I don't think they get Desmond.
Desi will have to find himself a new bat. Running fastball, breaks his bat. Just barely goes foul.
Two 2-0 Minnesota, 1 out in the top of the 9th. Arenado singled, he's at second. Cargo walked, he's at first. 1-2 on Desmond. Inside, 2-2. Para. Rockies 11 games above 500. And this one is fair, and it turns into a 5-3 double play that ends the ball game. Right over the bag, the worst place that baseball could have gone. So the Rockies split with the Twins today. They still win the series. As they head to Cincinnati, they'll be 10 games above 500, and they are 9-2-2 in season series this day. The winning pitcher, Jose Barrios, you just have to tip your cap to him. He was sensational. He improves to 2-0. He's won both of his starts this year. He struck out 11, walked only 1. 7 2/3, no runs, 2 hits. Tyler Chatwood takes the loss. Tyler's now 3-6, and Kinsler picks up his 11th save. It's 4th time this year the Rockies have been shut out. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game, the work of the 22-year-old native of Puerto Rico. He was dominant with a mid-90s fastball. He touched 97 on a couple of occasions, and he had a wicked slider. So the Jimmy John's delivery of the game provided by Jose Barrios. Once again, the final score in the nightcap, 2-0, Minnesota wins it. The Rockies won this afternoon 5-1. Coming up, our Toyota postgame show, Jenny Kavner, Ryan Spilborg, they'll recap the day for you.